Hello, my dear companions. This is Earl Purdy. I want to welcome you to A Course in Miracles, which is a course in right thinking. If we have right thinking, it's a miracle. So that's why it's called A Course in Miracles. It's called A Course in Miracles. I said it again, it's kind of funny, that if we're willing to see things correctly, if we're willing to treat each other kind, take some responsibility, it's a miracle. So it's called A Course in Miracles, because if we think correctly, it's a freaking miracle. So I was like going, okay, thank you. 45 years ago, when I first got into this and started to study it, it's a teaching on how to let go of anger, guilt, grievances in the past, and to get in touch with who you really are at a loving level. And what I would like you to recognize is that if you've ever felt confused by this world, if you've ever felt confused by this world and it looks like, this seems really, really insane, what's going on, and I'm getting confused about what's going on, congratulations. It means you're sane. A sane person would see the insanity of separation and conflict and misperceptions and separation that we're seeing that's confusing, because I know this is not the way it's supposed to be. So someone who feels confused about the world is actually someone more sane, and someone who thinks this is normal and this is just the way it should be is confused. So one of the main things that's so important when you're studying the Course in Miracles is it has its own particular way of being learned. So I'm going to give you quickly the guidelines, especially if you're here for the first time, which is, number one, you need not believe the ideas. Number two, you need not accept the ideas. Number three, you need not even welcome the ideas. What? Right, you don't have to believe it, you don't have to accept it, you don't have to welcome it. And this is a good one. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. So I might say some stuff that you have resistance to. Hello, I might say some things you don't agree with, or you might resist, right? But remember, I already said you don't have to believe me. You don't have to accept it, you don't have to welcome it. Here's one of my favorites. Some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. I might say some stuff that you go, that's hard to believe, right? So these are guidelines. I'm telling you, this will be a hard thing to hear if you forget this. Also, some of the things I say may startle you. It may be so different from the way you normally look at things that it startles you. And what you're not being asked to do is analyze the ideas and judge the ideas. Then you go, well, if I don't judge it and I don't analyze it, how will I know that it's true? And then the Course says, well, use it. If you use the ideas will show you that they actually work. But you have to use the ideas. See, most people want to analyze it and then, based on their analyzations, determine whether or not they use it. The Course is saying, no, the truth is, all you have to do is use the ideas and you'll see that it works. Now, what is the purpose of the Course? Well, the purpose of the Course is to get rid of every block in your thinking that keeps you from being happy and having peace. So the purpose of the Course is to change your perception. The purpose of the Course is to change your perception. Most people believe that the way that they are going to become happy is by changing everything and everybody outside of themselves. So it goes something like this. If you came home early in the evening, I'd be happy. If you remember my birthday, I'd be happy. In other words, if you were different in some way, I would be happy. If I lived in another place, I'd be happy. If I lost 10 pounds, I'd be happy. If I had more money. So the Course in Miracles teaches that what we do is guarantee ourselves misery by making our happiness dependent on things that we can't necessarily control. See, if I make my happiness dependent on you calling me and texting me every day, well, then I put my happiness in your hands. So that perception is what the Course would call a wrong perception. Looking at it that way is a wrong perception. So what do I need to do? I need to get rid of whatever it is inside of me that's making me unhappy. Or I need to get rid of whatever inside of me that's making me keep choosing these same type of relationships or people over and over again, or finding myself in the same financial situation. Most of all, I need to find out what is it within me that I'm telling myself that I'm focused in on that's keeping me in some type of conflict. The cool part about that is that means my happiness doesn't depend on you. Got it? I don't know about you personally, but I don't want my joy to be dependent on what anybody else thinks of me or what they do. Because now, again, am I not giving it away? Now my happiness is in your hands. Guess what? The one thing I have control over is the way I see things. Absolutely. You all have no power over the way I see you. There's nothing you can do about it. I think you're cute and fine, and that's it. Okay? Now, maybe you don't feel that way, but that doesn't have anything to do with me feeling that way. So I feel good about you, right? Because I'm telling myself things about you that make me feel good, like gratitude, like I'm grateful you're here. And so the Course always tries to teach people that you just need to change your perception if you want to feel differently. Because people teach themselves that their feelings are caused also by somebody else. You made me happy. You made me angry. You made me feel bad. So the Course is saying, do you want to get control of your feelings? It says, well, all you have to do to get control of your feelings is to give yourself an interpretation of things that makes you feel better. Let me give you an example. If I walked in here and I said that you all weren't going to like me because I had on a blue and white top, right? Then if that's my interpretation, then I don't feel good because I think you don't like me. So notice I'm feeling like you don't like me. But if I change that interpretation to I'm grateful that you're here, and when I look at you, it makes me feel good, that's the meaning I give you, that you're for my own best interest, and that you're here, and that you benefit me. How do you think that would make me feel? Good. So notice I changed my feelings. That the minute I changed my interpretation, then my feelings changed. It didn't take 10 weeks of therapy. The minute I went, I believe that you are here to help me, I feel better. Where did that feeling better come from? It came from what I was telling myself. So I'm telling you, if you're depressed right now, be grateful that you're the one that's making yourself depressed right now. Right? Because now your depression is in your hands and your depression isn't in my hands because you're not looking for me to get rid of your depression. But if you're lazy, then you're going to want everybody else to change in order for you to be happy without you doing anything yourself to have anything to do with it. And that's called blaming others, right? Now you're responsible. So we are reviewing 5 ideas from the Course in Miracles today. So tell yourself, number 1, thank you those of you online, Lord have mercy. I didn't want to not welcome you to Facebook Live here, A Course in Miracles with me, Earl Purdy. And thank you again, those of you who are here. So I want to ask you to take a breath right now. Now, why are we going to go over these lessons? The truth is, we're going to go over these lessons because the way that you teach yourself to think in a different way is not through understanding, it's through repetition and remembering. That's another trick that the mind plays with people. They think that whether something works depends on whether they understand it. But if you be honest with yourself, most of the things that you do and that you use all day, every day, you don't understand. If I told you to create an oven, you freak out. If I said make a refrigerator, you freak out. If I said go out there and create a car for us to hang out with you, right? So it's kind of, but isn't that funny that we think that unless we understand something, then it couldn't work? But the truth is, we're doing all kinds of things that we don't understand, but I just need to know how to use it, and I need to remember how to use it. If you told me that I have to start the car by pushing a button, then what I need to do is remember to start the car, I need to push that button. If I forget that, I'll be sitting there going, how am I going to start the car? Okay? So it's really the remembering. So what I'm going to do is give you answers, and your job, if you choose, is to remember it, right? So what we want to do, I always, to ask Spirit to help me prepare, And one of the things I want you to call me is your remembering coach. I'm your remembering coach. I'm not here to blow your mind. I'm not here to blow your mind with something new. I'm not here to blow your mind with something new. What I really want you to do is help you remember what you already know. You already know. The truth is something we already know. Love is something we already know. We already know the truth. We've forgotten it. It's the whole premise of the Course in Miracles. Is we know the truth, we've forgotten it. So what do we want to do? We want to listen to what our spiritual self is telling us, which is some of the ideas, again, you're going to find hard to believe. Others might seem to be startling. Yeah, it kind of sounds like last Tuesday. You're not asked to judge the ideas. You're asked only to apply them as you're directed to do. Now, that's freedom. That's freedom, baby. And so that's no analyzing, no overthinking, just applying, just remembering. So listen to this thought. Don't analyze it, apply it. Don't analyze it, apply it. Don't analyze it, apply it. Don't debate it. Don't debate it. Don't debate it. Remember it. Repetition. Don't debate it. Remember it. Don't analyze it. Apply it. Don't explain it. Experience it. Don't explain it. Experience it. So let's break it down. Let's break it down. Thought number one. I am determined to see things differently. If you got the book, then it says, what I see now are the signs of disease, disaster, and death. That's what you're going to hear on the news. This cannot be what God created for his beloved son, which is the same as saying this cannot be what the Creator created for his beloved creation. It's what? Disease, disaster, and death. The very fact that I see such things, disease, disaster, and death, is proof that I don't understand God. So I'm going to give you the translation. The very fact that I see such things as a disease, disaster, and death, therefore means I don't understand love. Therefore, I also don't understand love's creation. So what I see tells me what I do not know. What I see tells me I don't know who I am. What I'm looking at is the opposite of love, so it's showing me that I don't know who I am because I am love. And since I am love and don't see it, then I'm determined to see witnesses to love. So in my life, I'm determined to see witnesses to love. I'm not going to hang out with nobody that's judging me, condemning me, and criticizing me. I'm not going to be around people who do not reflect back peace and love to me. Amen. Because I'm determined to see the witnesses to what's true about me. Now, if I don't love myself, hate myself, and don't think I'm enough, I'm going to put myself around people who judge, condemn, and criticize me to validate to me that I have no value and I have no worth. So if I don't love myself, I'm going to get a partner or a friend who never, ever acknowledges me, ever recognizes me, ever shows me that I'm loved because I don't know who I am. And who I am is somebody that deserves to be treated right. Mm-hmm. That's who I am. Amen. I'm somebody that deserves to be loved. Right. You know, it's like, you don't see me, you don't recognize how cool I am. Mm-hmm. I'm not hanging around you.
That's right.
Right? That's right. If I want to get a different reflection, then I have to be determined to see things differently, which means I have to be determined to see me differently. You with me? Y'all with me?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, if you had problems with insomnia, you have just found the answer. My class. Okay, if you have trouble sleeping, just listen to my videos and you'll have the best night's sleep you've ever had in your life. Okay? Because if you're not ready to hear loving things about yourself, it will put you to sleep. Because I'm not going to say anything negative. I'm not going to say anything that's going to attack you. I'm not going to say anything that's going to make you wrong and bad. So that means that there's a possibility that you'll go unconscious. But if I was talking about you like a dog and telling you that you weren't enough, you'd be surprised how much you stay awake if I believe that about myself. Because I'm going to pay attention to who's saying what I already believe about myself quicker than I'm going to listen to somebody that's saying something I don't believe. That's why people hang out with people who mistreat them. They're telling them things they already believe about themselves, so I can trust you because you're saying what I already think about me anyway. But if I don't think I deserve to be loved and I come to this class with this weird black guy, and then he's saying I don't deserve anything but love, then I'm suspicious of him and I feel kind of weird. Right? Come on. There you go. So, Let's keep going. So I'm determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me rather than those which show me an illusion of myself. So let me give you the Earl Purdy translation of that. I'm ready to stop using my same old story to justify my same old pain.
Sounds like you love it.
I'm ready to stop using the same old story that absolutely justifies me keeping the same old pain. Because what's giving me the pain is the story I'm telling myself all the time. And if I keep telling myself the same story, I'm going to keep on having the same exact experience. So the Course is saying that you repeat to yourself that I'm determined to see things differently. 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 I'm upset with this person right now. I am determined to see them differently. I'm determined to see them differently. I'm determined to see them differently, because if I'm determined to see you differently, then if I'm given another way to look at you that would make me not so mad at you, then that is going to increase the possibility I'll let go of the way that I'm looking at you that's upsetting me right now. But it's to start out with me being determined to see myself differently, determined to see you differently. So I got to repeat, I'm determined to see you differently. And notice I am not analyzing this. No, y'all notice that? I'm not trying to figure this out or explain anything. It's like, hey, I'm mad at you. I'm determined to see you differently. I saw you look like you was getting too cozy with that person over in the corner. I'm determined to see that differently. I want to see that differently. I don't want to jump to a conclusion about that that's causing me pain. I'm determined to see things differently. So the first review idea is I'm determined to see things differently. And so let me ask you a question. Have you ever woke up and just looked at somebody the same way that you looked at them yesterday, but yet you're expecting peace? I'm upset with you. I wake up and I look at you exactly the same way I looked at you yesterday when I was upset with you, yet I expect something to be different about our relationship because I slept on it. Right? I'm sleeping on it, right? So therefore, it's going to be different when I wake up in the morning. Well, it's not going to be different when I wake up in the morning if I'm looking at you exactly the same way I looked at you before I went to bed. So everybody see that? Okay, so that is not how transformation occurs. Transformation doesn't occur through continuing to look at everybody the same way that you've always looked at them and expecting that you're going to get a different result. That is not how transformation happens. It happens from me, what? Being determined to see you differently. So when people come to me and the Course teaches about forgiveness, and they say, well, tell me why I should forgive, my uncle who did something bad to me. I say, no, I'm not here to convince you to forgive that person. What I am here to do is help you forgive if that's what you want to do. But I'm not going to spend 5 minutes trying to convince you that you should want to look out for yourself more or you should want to love you. I'm not doing that. This class is not to convince you that you should want to love you more. This class is for people who have a little bit of willingness to change their mind so that they can love themselves more. Because for every person that I would try to convince, there are people who would go, I've reached my limit and I really want to look at it another way and I want you to share with me another way, so would you please work with me? But I wouldn't spend 5 minutes defending anything that I'm teaching or debating with anybody about what I'm teaching, because that's not necessary. I believe that you're capable of following your own inner guidance. And so I trust that the same force that's guiding me is guiding you. And that force, that intelligence, some of us call it God, has already told me through the Course in Miracles that the people who would benefit most from me would be sent to me, and the way that I am would be best for them in their level of understanding. So what are you saying? The infinite intelligence is saying, I'm smart enough to send the people into your life who, the way you are, they benefit from and they like it. That sounds good to me. So how can I tell who I'm supposed to be working with? Well, the person that you're supposed to be working with would be someone that has a little bit of willingness to listen to what you have to say. And fortunately, everybody that don't like you, that you're not the best one for, they're going to do the thing that people do wonderfully, which is they're going to separate from you. And they're never going to come back to your class again. Now, don't you be so stupid as to try to get them back. I don't know about you, but I used to have people that sometimes seemed like they were mistreating me and not appreciating me, and I would spend a lot of time trying to get them back. Anybody here know what I'm talking about? You ever done that?
No.
Where there's somebody that you know wants to separate from you, but you spend a whole lot of time trying to get them to love you, or they get to where they've already shown you that they're not the ones sent by spirit, because if they were, they would be someone that was loving you and appreciating you. Yes, but that's okay. If you want to defend people coming into your life that don't treat you right, and you tell me why that's a good thing, then stop complaining about it, because you're getting what you want. If you think you got to have somebody that's a challenge and that's going to make you a stronger person, and you with the person right now that's driving you crazy because there's such a challenge, you need to cool out, because you've already said no pain, no gain, that you want a challenging situation to grow through. We're giving you that. So you shouldn't be upset. But if I say to you, the universe is saying you deserve to be loved, and therefore I'm going to send someone into your life that can appreciate you for who you are, the way you are, and even if you need to improve, you all can grow together because you want to do it together. Well, then also accept that that could be true, so that can enter your life. You know, see, the right person for me at an intimate level, close level, would be someone who found me irresistible. I'm not going after nobody that don't find me irresistible. That's how I know that they really are genuinely attracted to me. Right. So why spend all my time trying to get somebody to be attracted to me that's not, when there are people in your life that's finding you irresistible because of who you are? And what could be easier than being in a relationship where being who you are is enough? And if I need to grow or need to learn, well, then love would meet me where I am, and then we would lift each other up together. So someone that loved me, I wouldn't have to change for them to love me. Something that loved me would love me from where I am, and if there's something in me that needs to be improved, and them that needs to be improved, then we'll improve that together because we love each other, or want to love each other. These are the answers. That's what I'm saying. Like, people act like relationships are complex, everything is complex. It's only as complex as you're not ready to deal with it yet. If you're not ready to love me, you're going to focus on more reasons why you shouldn't. But that's only because you don't want to love me. It doesn't have to do with me being hard to love. Wow. I'm teaching this because I need to learn it. I'm teaching this because I need to learn. Because in this world, I don't hear this. I don't hear this. So I know that unless I'm proactive about hearing things differently, then I'm going to hear that same old crap that the world is saying of all this division and upset and projection and blame. I'm tired of it, personally. But I love everybody enough to let them be wherever they are, trust that the same spirit that's guiding me is guiding them, and then my job being to accept the truth that my spirit is giving me, and then me apply that to me and you. So that means I'm not going to try to fix you. I'm not going to try to change you. I'm not going to try to get you to be the way I want you to be, because if you don't want to be that way, part of my way of showing you love is making sure that I don't try to change you. But that doesn't mean I'm going to deny myself love. That's the thing. Just because you don't want to give it to me, it doesn't mean I'm going to spend all my time trying to get it from you. What I am going to do is be determined to see me differently, and be determined to see me in such a way that I believe I deserve that love. And I won't recognize it until I believe I deserve it. So you could have the person of your dreams that could be the best friend or relationship you ever had. They could be sitting right next to you, but if you don't think you deserve it, you won't see them. They'll be right there, and you would have missed them because you didn't think you were worthy of it. So that's why the Course keeps saying the name of the game is changing your perception of yourself. And the purpose of a relationship is for you all to learn together how to love each other and yourselves more. So it's going to be a challenge because we learned a lot of things that's not true, right? So that means I got issues that I have to get beyond. You might have issues that you have to get beyond. So to help us get beyond those issues, what do we need to do? Well, we need to want to be together, and we need to want to love each other, and we need to want to be in peace. So that when those things come up, we won't bail out on each other. We'll help each other go through them because we want to be together in love. So start out with hanging out with people you like. Okay?
That's simple.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's how transformation works, okay? So I'm going to ask you, and you just say it within yourself. What's one thing you're willing to see differently just for today? What would be one thing you would be willing to see differently, Earl, just for today? What would be one thing that you would be willing to see differently just for today? What would be one thing you would be willing to see differently?
Well, it's probably going to be a whole lot in this, but the past.
Okay,
I'm willing to see my past differently.
You're willing to see your past differently.
Yeah.
Okay, the course teaches that past means gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm from the South. I'd rather say past means gone.
Gone.
Okay, that's what we talk down there. Y'all and gone.
Gone.
Okay, so the past is gone, right? So you want to see what's gone differently. So that means it's already over.
Yeah.
It's not having any impact
Yeah.
at all right now.
Yeah.
And you just want to let it go.
Yeah.
So the only place you need to let it go is where? In your mind.
Yeah.
Because time is already taken when I was 10 years old away. Well, a long time ago.
You mean you're not 35?
No. All of us have been living forever. We just come into these bodies from time to time to learn certain lessons. Then we judge ourselves by how the body looks. You know, it's like judging yourself by how your car looks. You know, your car is you. Thank God I don't judge myself by how my car looks. That's when you look inside of it. You know, so what we want to do then is that you want to let go of the past, so you want to see the past differently.
Yes.
And the course would say the way to see the past differently is two ways. See the past as if it's gone, it's over. And the other way to see the past is that everything that happened in it was for your own best interest.
Woo! You see, you preaching today.
You see what I'm talking about? It's to say, no matter what happened in my past, even if it didn't feel like it, even if I didn't like it, somehow or another it benefited me. Somehow or another that growing up with a father that had a problem with alcohol, that somehow served me, that I don't know. My mother and father separating and getting a divorce when I was 14, somehow or another that was for my own best interest. Me being born in America and in the South in a black body, somehow or another that served me. So the way that you reconcile the past is to remember that everything that happened in it benefited you some kind of way, even if you don't realize it. So that would help you feel better. Because you could not feel better if you think something benefited you. Even if it's just a little bit, if you believe it benefited you. What was your hand up for, Laurel?
Thank you.
Probably the
Thank you.
opposite. I'm a little nervous about our future.
Right, okay. All right, good. All right, let's work with that. The Course in Miracles says the future means not yet.
Yes.
Future means not yet. When you say I want it in the future, is it happening right now? No. So when you say you want something in the future, you're saying I want it not yet. Oh, I want that job. I'm going to get the great job in the future. I'm going to get that job in the not yet. I want to have happiness next week when I go out of town. Oh, I want to have happiness not yet. So worrying about the future is worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. So I'm really worried about nothing that's not happened yet. So how do I see that? Is let me focus in on the safety that I'm feeling right now in this moment. Like right now, you're sitting here in front of a handsome guy that's teaching.
I agree.
Go ahead and ham it up.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I'm sincere, but I refuse to be serious. Now, people can come to be serious if they want to, and if I'm too lighthearted for you and it doesn't work, that's what I tell people all the time. Then just don't watch me. I used to have people sometimes get in touch with me to tell me how I need to change the way I talk because they didn't like something about it. I'm like going, well, why would you just not watch?
Simple.
Because you know what the truth tells me? They've already decided not to want to watch me. They're just looking for something to justify it. Because if they really wanted to, they overlook that. So that's why I don't change for people. Because I know they're just looking for an excuse not to join with me in the first place. You know, because how would you like to be on this earth thinking that your job was to change yourself for everybody around you all the time? That's tiresome just to think of it, to me. You know, just, okay, I got to be this way for this person, be this way for another person, or whatever. And so I always tell the people in my life, if there's anything you want to know about me, just ask me. I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, the question is how you're going to see that truth. And then how you're going to turn around and react to it. But I'll tell you the truth. Because I want to be able to be myself no matter who I'm around. And sometimes I feel depressed, and sometimes I feel happy, and sometimes I feel angry, and sometimes I feel peaceful. All of my feelings are innocent. I just need to recognize that the ones that are not loving are the ones that are calling for love. All of my feelings that are not loving toward me, whether it's anger, guilt, grievances, jealousy, upset, that's my call for love. That's me being afraid. And I want to be around people who would see me, if I go through anger, guilt, grievances, or upset, as Earl is calling for help.
Yes.
He wants some love.
Yes,
Not,
yes.
why are you being that way? Okay, then I know that you are called for love. Now that's your call for love. So the course says when you are in a situation that you're not seeing a peaceful world because you're holding on to grievances, that's all that this is saying. The next idea is what I see is a form of vengeance. What I see is a form of vengeance. What I see is a form of vengeance. What you see is a form of vengeance. In other words, if you're not seeing a peaceful world, it's because you're holding on to some kind of grievance. And that's all this idea is saying. Guess what? The world isn't doing it to you. The world isn't doing it to you. That person isn't doing it to you. The world isn't doing it to you. That person is not doing it to you. You know the situation? You know the situation. You know the situation. That person isn't doing it to you. The world isn't doing it to you. The person isn't doing it to you. You're projecting it. You're projecting it. So this is what you need to say slowly. I am seeing what I'm thinking. I am seeing what I am thinking. I am seeing what I am thinking. You are seeing what you are thinking. You are like right now when you look at me, you're seeing what you're thinking. Can't you see that? However you are judging me right now in any kind of way, you're just seeing what you are thinking. So that's true in every area of your life. In every area of your life, the only thing you're seeing is what you're thinking. And the only thing you're feeling is what you're thinking. It's your thinking that's making you feel the way you feel. So you're only on that job, you're only seeing what you're thinking. Now, if you want to stay in pain, you'll keep thinking the same way you're already thinking. And you'll also go unconscious, and you'll find it extremely difficult to hear what I'm saying right now. Because if you heard what I was saying right now, you get out of your funk and your depression or whatever you're upset about. You're not ready yet because you're not through taking vengeance on yourself. That's what he said. What I see as a form of vengeance, that's all that's saying, is that you're feeling what you are holding on to. You're feeling what you are holding on to. So what do you see and where do you see attack and now realize it's just your own guilt playing dress up?
That's a good shot, man.
Yeah. What do you see? What do you see attack? What do you see that it looks like you think someone's trying to hurt you in some way? Where do you see attack? That's your own guilt playing dress up. Do you know that if a person is full of guilt, there's a part of them, according to the Course, that's saying that they deserve to be punished? Because we think when people are guilty, you punish them. Why do you think people go to jail for years? Because we see them as guilty and they need to be punished. Agreed? That's why that tends to happen at the level of the world, because we think somebody's guilty. Well, what do you think you do to yourself when you feel guilty? You do the exact same thing. You take vengeance on yourself. Well, people go, well, how do I take vengeance on myself? That constant health condition, psychological condition, lack, relationships that are horrible, not putting yourself on the job that you appreciate. All those things are forms of punishment. So that's a form of taking vengeance on myself. It's me not ever giving me a break. That's me taking vengeance on myself. So when it says what I see as a form of vengeance, it's talking about all this pain and suffering that you see in the world. That's us inflicting vengeance on ourselves. That's us doing it to us. But if the president would just change, and we have... What the hell are you talking about? My girlfriend fixed me a pineapple upside down cake every now and then. I'd be happy, right? And if I don't, I'll take vengeance on myself. Or I eat the upside down cake, and I believe I shouldn't because I vowed I wouldn't, and I feel guilty for eating that piece of cake that I swore I wasn't going to eat, so I punish myself by 50 pounds. And I punish myself by not having enough money to pay my bills. I punish myself by not having loving relationships. I punish myself by not having a job that I look forward to going to every morning. I haven't worked in 45 years because I've been a full-time teacher of this material since 1987. I got into it in 1980. Now, if I had enough faith to follow what this was saying in order for me to fulfill my function and be provided for doing something as weird as teaching the Course in Miracles, which most people haven't heard of. And by the way, I'm an astrologer and a numerologist. And I can make it, Don, I want to hear what you got to say about why you can't make it and you're doing something more conventional that the world would approve of. You follow what I'm saying? Because I've been able to live, but I live this way doing what I want to do because this taught me the attitude I needed to take in order to allow that to happen. It didn't happen because of my wisdom. It happened because I was willing to tune into a wisdom greater than mine and then follow it. And I knew it was the wisdom I should follow because I wanted to.
Amen.
That's how I know it was my path. I wanted to follow it. Right? And so consequently, every day of my life for almost 40 years, I have done exactly what I wanted to do every day. But it would have been nerve-wracking, and I never would have been able to enjoy it if I thought I was going to be taken care of based on Earl's ego and Earl's personality and how much Earl can go out there and get the people that's going to come to his class and all these other things. That wouldn't be any fun because now I'd be spending all my time hustling as opposed to fulfilling my function of sharing this material. So I tell people all the time, you know, if you say you want to be self-employed and you say you want to do your own thing, well, the first thing you better do is start making some kind of connection to your higher self, and to spirit or whatever you want to call it, God. Else you're just going to be wearied every day, and all your life is going to be about how am I going to pay my rent because I don't know where the next money coming from. So you need to stay on the job. You need to give yourself the illusion of a job that pays you every week that you go to because it takes another level of faith to go out and do your own thing. And the Course would say the most important thing is not believing that you doing it by yourself, and that you do have invisible support called God, called love. So that's why I'm able to do this and have any kind of sanity. It's because I don't believe that I'm alone in this.
That's right, brother.
I don't believe that I'm alone in this. So I don't want to take vengeance on myself anymore, like I wrote here. Like, for instance, let's go to the next one. I can escape from this world by what? Giving up attack thoughts. Let me read this to you, what I see is a form of vengeance. It says, the world I see is what? Hardly a representation of loving thoughts. The world I see is hardly a presentation and representation of completely loving thoughts. What is the world I see? It's a picture of attack on everything by everything. It looks like everybody's going off on each other pretty much and judging each other pretty. I know everybody aren't doing that, but I'm getting real. That's the way it looks like. Like he said, it looks like that everything attacks everything else and gets upset with everything else. He says, so what we're looking at is anything but a reflection of the love of our Creator and the love of us. Then it says, what are you looking at? Well, it says, well, you're looking at your own attack thoughts that's giving this picture that's upsetting you. Then the mind says, what do you mean? I don't have a desire to attack anyone. Then it says, no, it's not just your desire to attack someone. An attack thought is your belief that you can be attacked by someone. So people don't think that way. They go, oh, I don't have any desire to attack anybody. But yeah, do you feel defensive? Do you feel threatened? Are you kind of looking at life to punish you or do something to you or hurt you? Those are attack thoughts. And so you're looking at thoughts of attack all around you, thoughts of fear. Then it says, well, my loving thoughts will save me from this perception. What will save me from this perception of attack? My loving thoughts. All right? That's what's going to give me the peace that my Creator intends me. I got to have more truth thoughts. I have to have more thoughts of truth. 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 If I was standing up, I'd twerk for you. But I can at them to twerk. I know, I can tell by that look, they have twerked before. I know it. That's all right. I won't tell none of your parents or relatives. They'll know. That's what I'm saying. Put your hands over your ears, mama. Because she's twerked. Okay, that's a dance move. That's all it is. It's safe. Okay. So, how do you escape? Then it becomes, how do you escape? How do you escape from this world of attack? How do you escape from this world? By giving up the thoughts of attack. I've got to let go of these thoughts of anger and attack and grievances. So you don't need a passport to leave your pain.
You don't need real ID?
You don't need real ID. You just need to cancel your mental thoughts of attack that's keeping you hostage. My thoughts are keeping me hostage. My thoughts are keeping me hostage. Hostage to what? My fearful thoughts are keeping me hostage to fear. My lack thoughts are keeping me hostage to lack. So what do I need to repeat? The world I see comes from what I think. If I stop the attacks, I stop the suffering. If I stop, my one rule is I try to remember as much as I can, because I think if I just remember one thing and apply it to everything, that would be easier than trying to remember a lot of different things to apply to a lot of different things. So let me apply one thing. What I give myself is, okay, I'm getting ready to try to deal with this person in this situation. My primary rule for myself is, if at all possible, I always say it that way, if at all possible, I will not attack them. That's all I need to remember. If at all possible, so before I'll attack you, I'll walk away from you, if at all possible. You follow me? Yeah. So let's come up with any solution for what we're going through in our relationship. Let's go through any solution between us except attacking each other. And any solution you come up is going to be adequate. It's going to be helpful. But number one is, I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to attack you. That's my number one goal. That's how I escape from attack. That's how I escape from my fear, is that I don't put it on you. And I see it as a call for love. It's a call for love. So what do we want to do? I like this. Have you ever heard of weapons of mass destruction? Okay. Do you know what your thoughts are? Your thoughts are spiritual weapons. Your thoughts are spiritual weapons of mass distraction. They're weapons of mass destruction, but your thoughts are weapons of mass distraction. Isn't that good? Yeah, wasn't that cool? Yeah. Yeah. That's cool, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it. If I'm not thinking loving thoughts or true thoughts about myself, and I'm condemning myself and judging myself, those are my thoughts of mass distraction. Those thoughts are distracting me from the thoughts I need to be thinking about, the stuff that I need to be focused in on. So most people, all day long, they just have thoughts of mass distraction. I'm thinking about everything and everybody else. I'm blaming everybody else. I'm not seeing myself as being responsible. I'm focusing on my childhood. I haven't been able to have a relationship because my dad had dropped me on my head when I was a baby. So I've never been able to have a good relationship since then. See, now I'm using my past as a thought of mass distraction. Yeah, everything is going great. I'm enjoying being with you guys and gals, but this afternoon I might have somebody that might do something that upsets me. See, now my thoughts of the future are mass distractions. I'm like you said, I'm worried about what's going to happen next. That's a thought of mass distraction because it's keeping me from focusing on what I can do now and what I can think now. So that would be, you need to lay those thoughts down. And you need to lay those thoughts down because the peace is going to come to you when you walk from a place of responsibility. I'm the one that's responsible for what I think. I'm the one that's responsible for what I think. What I feel comes from what I think. What I feel comes from what I think. What I feel is coming from what I think. But I need to change my thinking. How am I going to change my thinking? I need to repetition. You've been hearing me do that all this hour. That's why I tell people, watch my classes at least 4 times. And when you're upset, listen to my class. Because if you notice, I do it in a way that you can actually apply the class to whatever you're going through. Right? So the answer is here. Now, do you love yourself enough to use it? That's always the question. Do you love yourself enough to use it? Spirit always answers every prayer that we make, but do you love yourself enough to hear it and then use it? So let's go now. I want to make sure I finish this lesson today. And then what I do is after the class, I have a 20-minute discussion period where I can answer questions and people can make comments and share what they think about what they've heard and maybe get some additional insight. Why don't I do it during the class as much? Because the class is focused on what you need to do to get out of what you're going through. That's why you hear me giving you so much information right now. Because what I'm giving you is an answer to whatever you're going through right now. You know, if you have a really challenging, some kind of diagnosis that's real challenging, don't you want to see it differently? Don't you want to escape from those fear thoughts that you might be having about it? Do you not want to take vengeance on yourself by making it worse some kind of way? All the things we're talking about are very practical. So you can escape from the world you see by what? Realizing that what I see is coming from what I think. If I stop the attacks, I'll stop suffering. If I drop the judgment, I rise in peace. I need to get rid of my thoughts of mass distraction, which will lead me to what? I do not perceive my own best interest. So I can escape from the world by giving up attack thoughts. Herein lies your healing. Nowhere else. Without attack thoughts, you couldn't even see a world of attack without attack thoughts. You couldn't even see a world of fear without fear thoughts. So as forgiveness, what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is me allowing love to return to my awareness. When I say I forgive you, I'm allowing myself to become aware of peace again. Notice that. Forgiveness is I'm allowing myself to return, to allow love to return to my awareness. And then I'll see a world of peace. Then I'll see a world of safety. When I do what? Allow love to return to my awareness again. How do I do that? By recognizing that what's upsetting me is my own thoughts. I'm reacting to my own thinking. Which notice none of these solutions have anything to do with anybody else. Y'all notice that everything I've said since you sat down, they were all solutions you are capable of doing because it doesn't involve my cooperation. I can forgive you and you don't have to forgive me, but that doesn't mean I haven't forgiven you. But I'm not going to make my forgiving you dependent on you forgiving me because I'm willing to forgive. I've already said I'm willing to forgive. I've already said I want to see it differently. Now, if you're going to hang on to your grievance, that's your right. And I'm going to honor that. But I'm going to the party.
Get down.
I'm telling you, because you're the one that's holding on to it at that point, which means you're attacking yourself. Just like we said earlier, you're the one that's all grumpy and miserable and staying at home and got the little snotty handkerchief and all the rest of it. That's you keeping you into that. I'm not doing that to you. That's you doing that to you. Because I want to get over the separation between us. I'm willing to go back to a space of peace. I'm willing to try to see you differently. I want us to connect again. You're the one that's saying you don't want to do it. Okay, that's your right. I didn't forgive you until I got ready. So you don't have to forgive me till you get ready. Right? So I did my part. I'm willing to be with you in a peaceful way. I was telling somebody that just the other day. You know, okay, this person wants to be separate from me right now. Okay, I want to be in a peaceful relationship with them. I don't want to hold on to the grievance. So therefore I don't. I'm okay. I'm okay with them. Now, they can still not want to talk to me, but that has nothing to do with me having not forgiven. Is this making sense to you all? Mm-hmm. Right. So I forgive you doesn't necessarily mean you're going to jump up and down with joy about me. I forgive you is freeing me. That's because all of that anger and that grievance that I'm feeling, that's making me sick. That's making my life not work. I already don't like you, and now I'm going to let you do double damage to me by me continuing to carry this around in me, doing me in. So I'm doing me in about a person that I don't like no way. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. I already don't like you, which means all day long I'm the one feeling like crap. So I'm actually punishing myself and thinking I'm somehow hurting you because I'll never let myself have another relationship again because of what you did to me. So I'm staying at home in the back room. I'm going to show you I'll never get in a relationship again. They freaking on a beach in Hawaii, partying like a big dog, and you at home, okay, I'm going to show them. Stop taking vengeance on yourself. Stop taking vengeance on yourself. Ask yourself, where am I taking vengeance on myself? Then the Course says, okay, I don't perceive my own best interest. How can I recognize my own best interest when I don't know who I am? Since I don't even know who I am, how can I tell what my best interests are? I don't know who I am. What I think are my best interests would merely bind me closer to the world of illusions, the world of fear. What I think is my own best interest actually is binding me. Like if I think attacking you is for my own best interest, what it's really doing is binding me to fear. It's binding me to pain. So sometimes people think it's to their best interest to hold a grievance. And it's my best interest to never trust you again. So that's just binding me more to fear. That's just binding me more to distrust. So what do? The Course says, say to yourself, I am willing. I am willing to follow. I am willing to follow who? The guide that my Creator, love, has given me. What am I willing to do? I'm willing to follow the guide that God has given me. I'm willing to follow the guide that the Creator has given me so I can find out what my own best interests are. And I must recognize I can't see my own best interests by myself. When I'm angry and upset, sometimes I can't see I know Earl, I know you want to go over there and go off on them right now, but that's not for your own best interest. I know you think that's for your own best interest, but that's just going to make things worse. So I need help. I need a higher self, a spiritual self, or just a sane friend that would help me not make that decision by myself. Wow. So I don't perceive my own best interest. So let me give it to you another way. You don't know what you're doing, and that's why you're tired. You need peace.
Trying to figure it out.
That's what I said. You don't know what you're doing. I don't perceive my own best interest. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, and that's why I'm tired. And that's a blessing, really. It's a blessing that you don't know what you're doing. Because if you were to recognize that you don't know what's happening and you don't know what you're doing and you don't know your own best interest, you'll be more open to something or someone giving it to you, giving you some insight about what that is. When you say you don't know something, that invites the universe to answer you and support you from every direction. Because if you don't know, you don't have a preconceived notion about the way things should go. Right? If I don't know, then I'm not going to go. That love has to come through you. Right? If I say I don't know, love could come to me from anywhere. But the once I decide, because I think I know, and I say you're the one that's got to give me love, suppose you don't want to give it to me. Now it'll look like I can't have love because it's not coming the way I've decided. So what do? I try to do everything I can to get you to love me. And I take all my thoughts to try to figure out how I can get you to do what I want you to do because all my happiness can only come through you. And I've decided it's got to be you. But what if I went, I don't really know where my happiness is going to come from. It could come from anywhere. At that point, I've told the universe, send it to me the best way it can get to me. Send it to me the quickest, fastest. My prayer to the higher power is always, give me what you want the way you want me to have it. When you want me to have it. Because when you really grow spiritually, you get to the point that you realize you're miserable because of your own dumb decisions. And so you'll stop trying to be your own. so you'll stop wanting to listen to your decisions when you're in fear, anger, and upset, because when you're in fear, anger, and upset, it's when you're most likely to be distorted in the way you're seeing things. So your worst advice comes to you when you're upset. And that's what most people think their advice is the best, because you're emotional. And because it's emotional, you think it has more truth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got an emotional desire to step on a nail, so that's really selective because I wouldn't have all this emotion about it unless that was what I was supposed to do.
Passion.
And passion. So we have a tendency to think our dumbest ideas are true because of the way we feel it. Everybody with me on that? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right, to the last idea. Okay. I don't know what anything is for. I don't know what my mom is for. I don't know what my dad is for. I don't know what my car is for. I don't know what my finances is for. I don't know what this world is for. I don't know what this party is for. I don't know what. Does anything cover anything? Okay. Anything cover everything. So you go, I do not know what anything is for. Okay. Do you know what the Course says the purpose of everything is? Is for us to prove what we believe about ourselves is true. See, the purpose of everything is to prove that my illusions about myself are real. Right? If I feel like nobody can love me, my purpose will become to use all of you to convince me that I'm not loved. If my purpose is to love me, then I'm going to use all of you to try to make me feel loved. So the purpose that anybody has is to prove whatever they believe is true. Right? Then the Course says, it's for this purpose that I attempt to use everyone, what? And everything. It's this that I believe the world is for. What? To prove what I believe is true. I want to be right. And the purpose of everything and everybody is to make Earl right. Your purpose is to make me right. I get up in the morning with wanting to be right, even when I'm wrong. I just want to be right. More than, you know, people suffer because they want to be right more than they want to be happy.
I have never done that.
You know, I know, except for Carla. She's the only one that's never done that. Okay, so the purpose you've given the world, that's what's giving you the frightening picture of the world. And so you need to let your mind be open. So I go, well, how do I let my mind be open? Well, the Course tells you, so well, the way to let your mind be open is by withdrawing the purpose that you're giving to everything. I need to open my mind so that I can have the real purpose of the world. So I want to say to you all, my purpose is not to be right even when I'm wrong anymore. My purpose is not to get you to witness to my insecurities and my fears. Your real purpose and my real purpose is love. Our real purpose is to love each other. Our real purpose is to show each other that we can have peace with each other. Our real purpose is to look out for each other. Our real purpose is to remember who we really are as loving spiritual beings. That's the purpose. He says, if you do that purpose, you withdraw your old purpose of being right even when you're wrong, and then you can learn the truth about it. If I want to learn the truth about you, I have to be willing to let go of what I'm telling myself about you that's not the truth. If I'm telling myself you're a person that can never be kind and loving, before I can see the kind and loving you, I've got to be willing to take away that purpose that I've given you, which is your purpose is to hurt me in some way. I have to be willing to let go and to be taught how to let go. Taught how to let go. Taught how to let go of my old grievances against you. So that's what we're going to say. I do not know what anything is for. So that means you don't know what that situation is really for. It means you don't really know what that breakup was really for. You don't really know what that loss of that job was really for. That you don't know what that delay that you're going through is really for. But guess what? Your higher power does know. And your higher power, the love in you, the truth in you is not confused. There's a part of you that does know. There's a divine part inside of you that's not confused. So what would be the divine repetition? It would be, y'all got a situation? Is there anything in your whole life, any kind of way that you'd like to see different right now? Okay, anybody? Okay, you got one? You got it? Okay. This is not what it looks like. This is not what it seems. Got that situation? Got that person? Tell yourself, this is not what I think it is. Especially if you're upset. tell yourself, and me telling myself, this is not what it looks like, this is not what it seems, this is not what I think it is, that's what makes healing possible. Those are the statements that make healing from spirit, universe. I'm giving you some answers. You're in a situation right now, and you're losing your mind about it. You don't feel good about it. You're upset about it. Tell yourself, this is not what it looks like. This is not what it seems. This is not what I think it is. That's what makes healing possible. So what in your life might be a hidden gift, but right now, you know you need to let go of seeing it as a curse. Like, what is it in your life right now? If you want a hint, it's whatever it is you're upset about. Whatever you're upset about is actually has a hidden gift in it. The conflict is the wrapping for the gift. So picture the conflict, the fear, the upset as being the gift wrap. And then within that is a gift. And that gift it's making you look within in order to find where the real peace is located. It's making you be willing to look at this situation another way. This person is motivating me to have to change my mind, which is going to change my life. I think they're my enemy, but that girlfriend that was the worst one that I could have ever had in my life, that was the one that gave me the gift of, I'm going to have a girlfriend that's completely different from that from now on. So she gave me a gift in the conflict that I was going through with her. It made me be willing to get deeper and more sincere about my path and changing it. So ask yourself right now, what in your life might be giving you a hidden gift, but you're labeling it as a curse. Woo! So say this out loud, whoever feels like it. I am not being asked to agree with this.
I am not being asked to agree with this.
I'm being asked to use it.
I'm being asked to use it.
That's how remembering works.
That's how remembering works.
That's how miracles happen.
That's how miracles happen.
And you can say to the person, I'm not asking you to agree with this. I'm asking you to use it. Use what? Use the fact that I'm telling you that I want to have peace between us. I'm not asking you to agree with it. Just use it. You know, I say how the truth applies to everything. You can apply the truth to everything. So just remember this. Here's a recap, right? Recap is, I'm determined to see things differently. I'm not seeing the truth. I'm just seeing my own attack thoughts. I can leave this guilt-based world by choosing peace. I can leave. Why are you leaving me when I'm attacking you every day, up and down? I'm leaving you because that's my way of choosing peace.
Yes, Lord.
You said you want me to choose for peace. In this case, before I'll attack you, I will leave. Breathe and leave until you come back to sanity. That's how you handle it. You don't ever say to a person who's going crazy and losing their mind, they getting ready to walk away, and you go, don't you walk away from me? You're asking an insane, crazy person that wants to kill you to stay there. Let them go until they have a time to get back to center at some level. Don't ever, when someone wants to attack you and hurt you, you try to make them stay there with you in that moment of insanity. They're beyond reason now. There's no reason in them now. They see the solution is taking you out in some form or fashion. They're seeing you as the problem. So you need to give them a little space so that maybe that they can do what? See you differently. Right? And stop trying to use you to punish themselves, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to use you to punish themselves. I love it. Then you go to yourself, I don't know what's best. And that's my breakthrough. I don't know what's best. That's my breakthrough. And nothing means what I think it does. Nothing means what I think it does, and that's freedom. That's how miracles happen. So do you want miracles to happen? Realize that you are determined to see things differently, and you don't know your own best interest, and you don't know what anything is for. But that doesn't mean that that which is your higher self, your divine self, your spiritual self, your true self does know all those answers. But you'll never hear them as long as you're listening to the thoughts you are making up in your mind. I call it the conversation in your head. Ta-da! You never thought you'd be so happy to be in a class where a person told you didn't know nothing. I feel so relieved. Now I can feel good about feeling that way. So hold on a second, I'm gonna wind this up in a minute. Laura, you pass this around. If you'd like to be on my contact list, I've sent out a weekly newsletter with links to the classes and with thoughts for the week that you can use. I would love for you to be on that list. As a full-time teacher, I do it on a donation basis, so I give you an opportunity to share, and I deserve whatever you share or don't share and more. Okay? I ain't got no shame for giving away stuff. And it's funny. It's like are you in it for the money? It's like if I was, then I'd be asking for something definite. I wouldn't be just saying whatever you want. Whatever you want to share. It's like no, actually. Unless I believe I deserve to receive, how can the universe provide for me? Right? That's the way it works. You're innocent. I want you to have abundance. Those of you online, I'm going to make it easy for you to share. Isn't that great? You can go to my website, earlpurdy.com, P-U-R-D-Y, earlpurdy.com. You can use Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, or Square. I'm very techno also. And all you need is my email address. And my email address is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. It's P-U-R-D-Y, P-U-R-D-Y. I'm available for coaching. So if you're ready to get deeper into the Course in Miracles and learn more about how to apply this to your everyday life, I do one-on-one sessions. Also, I do clarity sessions, which means that there's issues that are happening in your life that you need clarity on, and you want to get an answer that you can use in that situation, then I am available. Those of you who are open and receptive to soul purpose, astrology, and numerology sessions, Spirit uses whatever we've learned for our awakening. I'm available for astrology and numerology readings and sessions. All you have to do is go to my website, and you can book an appointment with me right from the website. And then I'll be glad to work with you on a one-on-one. Got hundreds of classes on YouTube, got hundreds of classes on Facebook. Go to my website. I got a brand new website up. Go to my website and and sign up in my website also if you get a chance, because I'm going to have very special things that I'm going to be doing with people who are members. So I'm going to have a membership area of my website that's coming up soon. They will have special things that I'm doing with people who are members, which is going to give us even more depth working together with each other. So I got hundreds of classes you can watch free of charge, period. So that blows the whole thing of it's about money, which I don't care if the person thinks it is about that. But I'm just saying that you are me, I am you, we are one. And what I want for me is what I want for you, because we are one. You just look like you're different from me, and I look like you're different from me. And you look like you're different from me, and I look like I'm different from me too sometimes. Have you ever said, I don't feel like I'm being myself? Yeah, absolutely. So Mighty Companions, you all are awesome. And I'd love to get a chance. We're going to take a couple of minutes in case people need to go, and I can get a really cool hug before you run out if you're open to that. And then we're going to just take 20 minutes. I'm going to put it on my watch, and then that'll give us a chance to talk to each other, discuss, ask questions, get a deeper understanding of anything that you heard.